How's it going, guys? It's time to be back after 4 weeks of no UFC. I finally get to make videos on current times. I am so excited. All right, but I'm not gonna yell too much. But Dern versus Ribas 2. You know, the question about jiu-jitsu in MMA continues. How much of a place does it still have now that the game's evolved? And it still has a place. I always am kind of like that. I always say, you know what, jiu-jitsu's got its spot in the fighter's realm. It's just not the be-all, end-all of martial arts anymore, and I think the UFC has proven that. But with Mackenzie Dern, perfect example, she was the hope in the women's division to be a revival for the jiu-jitsu game. And as she hit the actual rankings and were with people who were non-ranked, and granted, when she made her climb, she made her climb. She had like one fight that she lost by decision after her pregnancy, which is totally understandable. But other than that, there was a time where we thought that jiu-jitsu was going to have a solid rep besides Charles Oliveira, you know. And, you know, she definitely did better than Crone Gracie's standard. She doesn't make the Crone Gracie mistake where she pulls guard. She actually tries to strike. She actually tries to wrestle a little bit. But her main danger is when she's on the ground. But Amanda Ribas in their first fight definitely figured that out. But if you just stay off the ground mainly and just have good defense against her jiu-jitsu, there's not a whole lot that Mackenzie Dern can do. And Ribas was just one of Mackenzie Dern's kryptonite. So now they're going to run it back. And you know what? Mackenzie Dern should be able to face, because she does need to make a severe statement with where her career is at, because every time she bursts near the top, she gets shut down hard. And you know what? She's been changing up camps a lot, and, you know, she's been having a lot of stuff go on in the back scenes of her life. This is not really an MMA drama channel, so to speak, but all that personal stuff definitely can affect the real-life fighters, and you start to see that in the octagon. So I guess the drama is very necessary. But I am a big fan of her father, Wellington Megaton Diaz, one of the best judoka guys that we've ever had. Really smiley guy, and you know what? He'll toss you with a big smile on his face. But when it comes to Mackenzie Dern, though, like I said, her wrestling, like her ability to take down, is kind of lacking for the bigger parts of the division. And then her striking has never really stayed consistent. In fact, honestly, the last couple of fights, I feel like it's regressed. You know, she really had a striking problem when she, you know, burst onto the scene. She would just run forward and start throwing haymakers and try to use that to kind of mask a takedown. But, you know, people were just watching for that takedown, and they kind of saw through that. And then she got with, I forget which striking coach it was, but she actually started improving slightly, and then they switch up camps again, if I'm not mistaken. She needs to find a consistent coach. Is it too late for her to find a consistent coach, and is she slipping past her prime? We don't really know. Every UFC fight's different, to the point where these fighters get on these tears, and I'm wondering, is this going to be the time where they fall flat? Is this going to be the time where they fall flat? And although Mackenzie Dern has lost, she hasn't quite hit that point where it's like, okay, yeah, she should think about hanging up her gloves. In fact, I'm actually pro Mackenzie Dern when it comes to the fighter's realm. I know a lot of people are pro Mackenzie Dern in a lot of other realms. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she is a very good-looking woman. You know, I'm not even going to be denying that. But as a fighter, there is a lot with consistent coaching that she has had a problem with. And Ribas is that perfect test, because she's already lost to Ribas before. And Ribas, honestly, is top of the division. She and Macy Barber had a straight-up war. You know, that was a back and forth where I thought anyone was going to go down, and that just shows how good Ribas is. But, you know, if Mackenzie Dern wants to really prove that she's here to stay in the UFC, I think a statement to take back a loss that she got before would show that, one, you know, she's able to stay with it. Two, she can improve. Three, she can stay consistent with her striking coaches. And four, she doesn't let the fame and the potential modeling career, you know, because she could be a full-time model. You know, she could make a lot of money doing that, more than she does when she, you know, fights, right? So she doesn't really even need to be here. But then she might not have to go to modeling, because she could choose to be a fighter and try to be that role model that she probably wants to be. But you know what? It's always a thing, is, has she faced her flaws? And I think the top echelons, especially for fighters like Mackenzie Dern, that's a beautiful way to look at it, because you really do have to face, the flaws inside and outside of the cage if you really want to succeed and get that belt. And we've seen this. Alex Pereira, where is he at right now? He fixed his flaws and addressed his issues. Ilia Topuria never really had much drama. He's just been a pure fighter, and he seems like a guy who's had his ducks in order. But like I said, it's almost like that belt has kind of an aura around it, where it's like not just physically are you prepared for it, but are you mature enough to handle it? But we're going to exclude Jon Jones from that because he's an exception. He's just the greatest fighter of all time. He's never really had to watch his personality. He keeps getting in trouble again and again. Sorry, not sorry. If Jon Jones sees me on the street, I really hope he doesn't unalive me for saying that. But you get the picture. Can Mackenzie Dern really mature? I think this weekend is going to tell. But peace out. See you on the next one.